Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be making some tallow. Some people call it beef suet. Now here I've got 10 kilos of beef suet or beef fat. Now I ordered this from my butcher and I've already done 20 kilos, so this is my last lot of 10 kilos for a while. And what I'll be using is some stainless steel pots. These are the small ones. I do have the large crock pots, but I've decided to just go with the two smaller ones. As with the larger one, I need to use a step ladder, guys. You know, I'm a short person, you know, knee high to a grasshopper. And so to lean over and stir the fat while it's melting just isn't a good idea. I'm also going to be using cheesecloth to strain it, a strainer, and there's another bowl. So I'll take you through that process. So I've emptied a couple of packets into this bowl, and I just wanted to show you how this is ground up. If you can get your butcher to grind it up for you, it's much easier and quicker to render this down. I've got my heat at a very low heat, guys, because you don't want to burn this. This is now melted. Now, I don't know if you can see in this corner here, it's just simmering away. Now, that's what you want to see. A lot of people get it to a stage where it's melted and then they just put it into their jars. I've seen some videos like that, and that's wrong. What you've got to take it to is the point where you see no more bubbles or no more simmering, and that means that it has evaporated all the water out of the oil. If there's any water left in the oil, what you're going to find is it will mold. So whether you've got it on your shelf or whether you've got it in the fridge, it will mold. So now you can see that it's simmering really well. It's not a rolling boil. You do not want a rolling boil, otherwise it will burn. So I'm quite happy with the way that is. My stove is really, really low. You can hardly see the flame. That's how I have it. And this works really, really well. So this is going to take a few minutes. Keep stirring it. Now you can probably see the little brown bits that have floated to the top. That's just the meat that got ground in with the fat. They will eventually just settle down to the bottom and you'll see them go really brown and crispy, and that's what's meant to happen. So this is going along beautifully, really happy with it. Just keep stirring it and make sure it doesn't all stick too much to the bottom, which it will, some will. The meat will stick a little bit to the bottom, but that's okay. Now you can see there's less bubbles in the middle. It's all seemed to go into the sides, and you can see that the little bits of meat are starting to turn brown. So this is normal, guys. It's all fine. It's not burning, and the oil looks lovely. So keep stirring, and you've got to have some patience. Now the second pot on the back burner, this is a smaller burner, so this is the stage this one's at too, and it's just looking beautiful. Keep stirring, guys. Everything's working well. Now you can see there's less bubbles, so the water is almost out, but not quite. Keep going because there's still some activity in there. So we want it so it's perfectly still, no bubbles at all, no spluttering at all. Now a lot of people think, well, why is she doing such small batches? Well, I like doing it in small batches. I think it's safer for me. And also it doesn't take that long. I find it's much quicker instead of having a great big pot and trying to stir a large amount. I mean, I wouldn't do 10 kilos in one big pot anyway. That's ridiculous. So I like doing it in this small batches, and I find that it doesn't take that long anyway. So here we go. Still spluttering a bit, but we're almost there with the first pot. Okay guys, I think this first pot is ready. I don't see any more activity. You're going to see a few bubbles there, but they've just come up to the surface, but it has stopped spluttering, and I'm going to get this strained into a bowl now. So here I've got a bowl with a strainer and 4 layers of cheesecloth, and I'm going to be pouring the fat into the cheesecloth, and you won't be able to see me do it because I don't have my tripod here, so I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've just poured it through the cheesecloth, and what's left behind are just all the little bits of meat. Okay, so if I lift this up, I can show you the beautiful tallow, lovely and clean underneath. So the pot that's on the smaller back burner, that has now completed, all the activity has stopped. You can see that there's no more bubbling or spluttering. That's what you want to see. So now this is ready to be strained as well. So I've got one of my warm jars. Make sure your jars are warm, guys. And I've got a funnel with 2 layers of cheesecloth. So I do strain a second time, and so sometimes I go a third time, to be honest. So I'm going to get this poured into the jar. And there you have it, that's my first jar. It looks absolutely beautiful. Put a cap on it and just set it aside to cool down. These will just sit on my counter until tomorrow morning, and you'll see that they'll go beautiful white colour. So I'm going to do the rest off camera, and I'll show you the rest of it when I'm finished. Good morning. This is what 10 kilos of tallow looks like. It's sat on the counter overnight, it's cooled down, and it goes a beautiful creamy colour. Now this is shelf stable, or you can keep it in your fridge. When cooking with tallow, you can reheat it, unlike the seed oils. So let's say olive oil, you should only cook with olive oil one time and then discard it. But with tallow, you can cook it over and over again at the same time. So with tallow, you can make soap and a moisturiser, a face cream. So with the face cream, it's just half a cup of melted tallow, 2 tablespoons of, I use coconut oil, or you can use castor oil. And if you want some fragrance in it, just a couple of drops of your favourite fragrance. So when you buy lard in the supermarkets, lard is from a pig, and you'll hear the butcher call it leaf lard, and that's the fat around the organs of a pig. But this is from a cow. This is beef tallow. So a lot of people get those confused. Now, despite of what some people think and what we've been told, and we have been lied to, guys, animal fat is very healthy for us. Our brains need it. Our brains are made up of fat. So cook with it. It's very healthy, and not to believe all the lies that we've been told. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.